guys, it's hot again. I don't know what the temperature, why it's being that way. It just wants to be cranky. So let me get this set up here. Strange conversations, do all that. Save. And we're going to make it a subscriber. Oh, wait. Going to make it subscriber only. 1 minute. Okay, and one more thing. Hey, Ambrose, how you doing? We're going to put it on automatic. There we go. And we are all set for the podcast. Let me get this set up here. Oh, make sure I have it on silent. We don't need to be talking. Hey, Fafa, what you doing? Mustang, RJ, Alfred, ABX, hello, hello. Oh, look, I have to watch an ad. I like to look at it on here because then I can also just kind of like, I don't know, I can pay more attention. I guess I can pay more attention to you guys. I don't know. I have my mic on because you know why? Because the air conditioner is kicking today. Oh, damn, I got to watch a lot of ads. Holy moly. That was a lot of ads. Hi there, Hassan, Lady Wiser. Hi, Daniela. Good afternoon to you as well. We're going to have lunch. We're going to talk. One of the things I'm talking about today is, I don't know. By the way, let me know if the sound is fine. Like I said, using a mic today because of the air conditioner. I know it's probably going to come through as a hum. Like, I don't know what the hell we did back in the day to stay cool, but I don't know if we could survive it. Is it kind of low? Well, I can't. It sounds fine. It might be, guys, if it sounds low, it's probably because of the device you're on, maybe. So, FYI. Hassan, I don't know if we're going to be doing the, parade? I don't do the parade on the 4th of July. And the fireworks, I don't know. It's a hot mess. We can go over that a little bit. I got ice water. I'm going to make something to eat. I have a Diet Dr. Brown's cream soda. But this heat is just like, I don't know what it is. I can't handle it. Hey, NYC gal, good to see you and stuff. I mean, actually, let's look up the weather while we're sitting here, okay, guys? Because it'd be a bitch. We don't have air conditioning in UK homes. We are used to suffering. Lisa UK, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. Dianne Lee, thank you so much for that 10-pound super chat, hon. That was super sweet of you. Where's my horn? Oh, my God, I got to go get it. Hang on a minute. I got to go grab something. Where the hell is it? Oh, my God. I cannot be, like, not having this. Here we go. Okay, guys, coming back. I had to rumble through my, I forgot I had the mic on. By the way, Dianne Lee. Diana. Thank you for the 10-pound super chat. Okay, there's the horn. I got it. I'm going to catch hell for that, FYI, because Josh is going to be like, what the hell is that? Sorry. I scared the crap out of him, guys. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go in here. Now, yes, it's going to be darker because guess what? It's hot, and we don't need to be kicking up the heat. We used to continually kick our carrier's AC back in the day. You keep them working? Really? Today we're talking about the heat, Christopher. It's too much. I'm going to be making lunch too. But I was looking it up and trying to figure out. I know Joshua's like, what the F? Thank you so much, Diana. You're so sweet. But I'm going to be making some tuna fish and stuff with a little cucumber tomato thing going on. That's like my standby, guys. I know I'm pretty, but I'm making enough for 2. So we can have that for today. You know how it goes. When it's hot, we are not going to be cooking because nobody can handle that. We'll do as little cooking as possible. And it doesn't go out in the midday because that's just, I don't know, it's like Nutty Nutty Cocoa Puffs. But, you know, they had Starkist on sale for $1 over at ShopRite. ShopRite? Stop and Shop? I don't know. It's the one with the little grocery cart. They all look and sound the same. I don't understand it. But anyway, I was talking about, I don't know how we did it back in the day where we would be able to stay. I know, Tuna. Hi, Octavia. Good to see you. Where we could stay cool. Oh, by the way, Rabbit. It is the 1st of July. Yeah, it is the 1st of July. I don't know how the hell we stayed cool. Hey, OPP. But I had to look this up because I kept thinking people didn't have air conditioning like we do now. Did they fix the usernames? My mom told me her and her sister slept on fire escapes. That's what I've heard. Now, I didn't live in the city then. I did not. I moved to the city here. I moved to New York just over 11 years ago, and we've been here since. We tried the first 2 seasons without an air conditioner, and that didn't work, okay? Because it was hot as hell. It was hot as hell, and we couldn't handle it. Bull. So, I'm sitting here straining the tuna. Does anybody else? I only get solid white tuna and water. Oh, this one's in vegetable oil. I was like, this doesn't feel like water. What the hell? Angela? I didn't think they made it with vegetable. Oh, God. That's probably why it was still on the frickin' thing. I never get it in this. Oh, my God. Why did I get it this way? I was holding back on the rabbit. I don't know how you guys did it back in the day without air conditioning. We grew up in Michigan. We did not have air. Not a lot of people did. Very few homes had air conditioning. It was not as prevalent or common as in central air. Oh my God, if you had central air back in the day, you and Joe aren't going to the Nathan's Frankfurter eating contest in Coney? I don't know. I know, but I don't like vegetable oil. I feel like that's bad. I like olive oil, but I do not like vegetable oil. I'm kind of annoyed at myself. I don't know, Rhonda. I know you like to know our plans for everything, but there's going to be so many people covering those events and stuff, and sometimes it's not worth it if it's going to be insanely, ungodly hot. You got to stick with your health first. I know. Yeah, tuna always does fall apart easily. Now, this is the only kind of cooked tuna I will ever eat. Just saying, because if I have a tuna steak, I'm going to tell you it's going to be very rare. My long hair, it's not long. It's up. You're looking at my my thumbnail. I have that on my thumbnail. So that must be what you're looking at. Tuna, no Stop and Shop. Tuna's on sale. I don't know. They were last week. All right. I'm going to cut up some. I love celery. Wash it. I only wash. I mean, some people, I could have cut this already, but no, I don't do that. Hi, Din. How are you? Like, we never grew up with air conditioning. Me. Joe did. He was bougie. But my family did not. We would go to my grandparents' house, and they had, it was with oil. It was a mistake. I shouldn't have bought the oil one, but whatever. We would go to my grandparents' house, and they had one of those AC units. My air conditioner is in the front room right here behind me. That's where ours is. And then we have a tower fan for the living space. But the rest of the apartment stays pretty cool with the air conditioner. Starkist, Likes tuna with good taste. I know. So, I always do celery. I don't know. I've seen it with eggs, but I think that's a little weird. I know. I usually only get the water, but that's not what happened. I didn't look at it because you know what? I guess mostly whatever I see is always with water. You sent me an email? Okay, Din Din. Sounds like a plan. I'll have to check it out. I haven't checked my emails from this morning or last night either and stuff, so I'm trying to catch up a little bit. And then I was watching the new series, the new season of Squid Games. Dark, just gonna say. But yeah, the whole thing with air conditioning, I just am stunned. I was stunned with how we didn't have it, but now it's like a necessity. And some people are like, oh, it's just not, it's hotter now. Everybody's like, well, we didn't need, I mean, we didn't even have air conditioning really in the car. You know, I remember when my dad got a car that had air conditioning in it, and we thought, holy hell, we were like living it up. I don't know. I mean, my first car did not have air. I don't even think my second car had air conditioning. I mean, you rolled the windows down and you drove as fast as you can. And in my cars, they were crank windows. That's what I had. I don't know about you guys, but I literally had crank windows. So that says a lot. I use AC in the nighttime in my room. During the day, you only use a fan. How do you do that? Yeah, Kimberly, it's a necessity. I mean, people will die without the air conditioning. It's so freaking hot. But you know what? Our places, the wing window. Remember that little bitty vent window? you would adjust it. Remember that? That's funny, right? And I also like to use dillweed in mine. Am I going to show you what I'm doing here? No, not really, because, you know, I go through this stuff very fast, especially in the summer or when I'm making salads, which actually this weekend I have to make a salad, potato salad. What's a crank window, Grandma? I know, right? For real, the crank windows. Yeah. Hellman's mayo. Where's the ship? What ship? Oh, yeah, I know. Everybody's got their name back. Apparently, YouTube has deemed us all worthy to have our names. I don't know what the hell YouTube has been doing lately. Yeah, but we had that. We ate popsicles. We ate those ices that were in the stupid plastic sleeve. Hi, Dee. How are you? Remember those, guys? We would eat those so much. You know, Hassan, I don't know what I'm doing for the 4th. But, you know, whatever it is, we'll have a good time. Is it that I want to go to it? I don't know. Because them having it on if they're going to have the fireworks on this side, on the Hudson, makes it very difficult. Makes it very freaking difficult for people. Owns your electricity bill will be high next month. Oh, God. Our electricity bill, you did that too? Yeah. Yeah. We would, I swear to God, we would do homemade popsicles because we didn't have money to go buy the real ones. Do you see how much darker it is? That's one of the things that's kind of probably like a leftover thing from my childhood. You do not open you don't turn on the lights. You don't turn on things like that because it will heat up the apartment. It will heat up your house. So we never did. I'm going to make myself a little plate now. I'm going to have a few celery sticks. Leave those for Josh. Josh is not a pickle fan. He isn't. He just really isn't. Put my plate here. But, I just remember we would always be sleeping, and you had a box fan. Does anybody have those? I have my family cookout on Saturday, Friday, and the 4th. We'll hit the casino. Ooh, that sounds fun. Right? We had a box fan. We had box fans all over the damn place. That's what we had. They'd be sitting in the window, and they would literally fit in there so perfectly. Josh doesn't like that. I know, he's not a big pickle fan. He said it's okay if I put it in there. And I'm going to go with it for the moment. I'm just peeling this cucumber. And yes, I peel it directly into the garbage. Because it's that easy. Simple. Dump those on the plate. What's cooking? Tuna fish. Tuna fish is what's cooking. Do I want tomatoes? I don't know. I might just rinse them for Josh. I had some this morning, so I might just do that. Okay, that's fine. I'm very fast. Not a regular cucumber skin. It's not an English cucumber. It's a regular cucumber, so it's going to be relatively thick and probably waxy. To me from Halloween last year. Oh, I'm going to have to check that out. Is that AC unit still in the hall? Yeah, it is. I don't understand why it's in the hall. I keep trying to figure that out. I do like blue cheese, guys, so I'm going to put a little blue cheese down here. Whoop, that's plenty. That's almost too much, but we're going to work on it. Okay. Dry my hands a little bit. Put some tuna fish over here. Okay. Paper towel. Oh, you know what I need to do? We are going to have some soda. So I need to do that. So you're going to be in September Comic-Con? Is in your profile pic? Okay. I'll have to check that out. And yes, we are all on ice duty. We are all on ice duty. For real. The ice duty is the thing. So I'm going to set you guys down here. Boop. Let me grab my plate. There we go. It's actually, my plate does not even look that appetizing. There's like, the only color in it is green and white. How funny is that? It's green and white. I don't know. It's just green and white. That's what it is. You push this over, push this over. Yeah, you guys can see. So I have pickles. I have cucumbers with some blue cheese, tuna, celery. It's all green. This is a girl at my job who opened a box of protein bars. She didn't like them. She said, take them. I just take them back. And I said, if there's anything Ann just taught me is you can take it back. You can take it back. If you try it and you hate them, take them back. How else is the manufacturer going to know that you don't like it? It's not very colorful. When you were living in a New York housing authority, you had a box fan? Yeah, a lot of people do. They do sell them. But I don't know. My cruise, yes, it is this month. It's in 20 days. It's so much money wasted when you do that. If you don't turn them back in. Swear to God. Because what am I doing? Am I going to buy everything and then it tastes like crap? I have tomatoes, but I had tomatoes earlier today. So I'm kind of trying to watch the carb thing. Look at, it's rabbit day. Is this not the perfect thing? Rabbit. That is so delicious. Sharing is caring. Yeah, but I can't keep going buying everything and then I'm supplying everybody else. Oh, didn't you finalize the payment this morning? Doesn't that feel good? It does feel good, right? I'm gonna go honk honk, honk honk. It's a little too hot. Well, today's podcast day. Hey, Walt Money. No, today's podcast day. We don't walk out. We can, but it's too hot to go outside right now, and there is no reason for that. Good morning, Ronnie C. Hey, baby love. Oh, there's Treatin'. How are you? We're talking about how hot it is. Yes, half the year is up. So currently, it says it's 84. That's a lie because it's not 84. I guarantee you it's hotter outside. It's probably over 90. And in the city, that's hot. It's hot and it's humid. I was out this morning at 5:30, 5:45, and Trey, it's 87. That's just still too hot because we have a lot of humidity here in the city, and the buildings kind of retain the heat and reflect it back at you. So if you're walking on the sidewalk, all of our sidewalks are light in color because it's supposed to reflect, the sun, the heat back up. But the problem is that if you're walking, it's reflecting it back on you, so you get the sun from the top and the bottom. You just you're walking around and you're in an oven. You're just cooking. My boyfriend's niece is having a baby boy. Her due date's December 31st. Well, congratulations to them. Yeah. Happy birthday to all the July babies. Yes. We don't have anybody that's born in July in our family. My dad was, but that was, that was the only person, I think. Okay, tuna's good. But anyway, let's look at the weather. Let's look at the weather for the week. Let's see what it's going to be. Okay, so Friday, it's going to be sunny and hot as hell. That's what it's going to be. Sunny and hot as hell. Tomorrow, 42% rain. Tomorrow on Thursday, 90 degrees. 90. It's so early, so hot that you had to do your ride early this morning, and even then it was hot. Mine's too. I went for my walk at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and it was warm. I came back sweaty. Another shower. I know next month is Joe's birthday. I will be back in time for Joe's birthday, so nobody fret. Hi, yes, Rabbit. Hey, Joseph Q, how are you? Yeah, so this whole weekend is going to be in the upper 80s and 90s. It's summer. What are we going to do? It's summer. I mean, that's what it is. I can't change that, right? Oh, let me put this on all messages because God knows I might miss some. I know we no longer have prison numbers anymore. Isn't that weird? I think that's so odd how we had them and then we didn't have them. I'll be skating in time. I will be skating in just in time for Joe's birthday. He's really jealous about that. He's very jealous about the ports of call. I'm not on Prism. I'm on my Wi-Fi, so I'm on YouTube. Why? What does it look like? Tell me why. Tell me why, Joseph Q. Is there a thing? Do you see difference? It's probably nice and clear because I'm using my Wi-Fi. I'm home. Hi, Sabby. Good to see you. You can't wait to see the Nathan's contest this Friday? Welcome to Houston. Oh, look, I got another ad. I have another ad on my own channel. This is funny. I'm going to skip it so that I can continue to say. I don't know why I skipped it. Happy birthday to Lizzie Hatch. Happy birthday there. Thought prison didn't have prison numbers. No, I'm on YouTube, so YouTube must have fixed it. That's what you think? Okay. No, it's a YouTube thing. Because Prison just rebroadcasts. That's what they are. They're just a rebroadcaster. They don't have anything to do with the numbers. But here's the thing that I wanted to talk about. Okay. So I had to go down the rabbit hole. As you guys know, I always do this. So I go down the rabbit hole to kind of figure out, when did we really get air conditioning? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they got through it back in the day. Your oldest granddaughter is going to be 17th. Okay. And prison has too many. Prison has been just glitching for me lately, so it's kind of like I don't want to be using it. You're eating Walmart lemon pepper rotisserie chicken. Okay, good for you. Hey, how you doing, Robert K? But so I went down the rabbit hole, and I didn't realize that Carrier, Mr. William Carrier from Carrier Air Conditioning, that family must have tons of money. He's the guy who made the first modern one. It's my topic because it's too freaking hot outside. I can't do anything. I can't do a damn thing and stuff. So that's why I go down the rabbit hole on these things. Like, how in the world did we survive? I didn't have air conditioning as a child. I didn't have it in a car. And I'm like, I don't know how the hell we lived. What did you guys do? Or was I the only poor schmuck who didn't have it? You know? So I decided to look up the percentage of households that have air conditioning. Okay. In 1955, so the very first, like, fewer than 2% had AC in 1955. In the 70s, only like 46% of people had air conditioners. And those were like window units. They weren't like central air. Think about that. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. They don't even do that anymore, Sabby. They don't open the hydrants like that anymore. Hi, Junior Bushcraft. How are you? It tastes like tuna, Lady Wiser. It's just that I don't like to drain it and have the vegetable oil all over me. I hate that. I really hate it. But it's fine. It's fine. I prefer it in water. Was a fan in the window and a prayer to just make it through the day and don't let it rain, and the fan out of the window. Oh my God. Remember Haas? When I was a kid, like if it rained, like they'd want to make you take the fan out of the window, or else if you left it in there, the rain would come through. It'd be like you're spitting rain into the room. Hi, Sandy. Lots of cold drinks. What am I eating? I have tuna fish and cucumbers, pickles, and celery. So they said only 46% had it back then. Now that 46% must have had coin. I know, Greg. People were saying that, and I'm like, liars. Lots of adult slushies this weekend, girl. You're not lying. You know, I wish cruise ships would introduce slushies, like slushies that had 0 carbs. My wife's parents got central air in the 90s in their house, and it still runs to this day, never broke, right, J-Ro? So in the 80s, it turned into like 63% of the households in the U.S. had air conditioning. Only 25% of those homes were central air. Think about that. Who goes out now and buys a house that doesn't have central air? Right, that's an anomaly. You got whole house AC in the 70s due to your dad's health issues. Before we used fans, house was like a convection oven and had to tough it out. Joseph Q, tell me even that's not the truth. I felt like you were baking. Like we were the shake and bake. Oh my God, it was terrible. You did nothing. You literally would lay around And you'd go outside instead and sit in the shade because it was better than being inside. And then if you came inside, you'd be sweaty, so it felt cooler, like for real. I know. I think the cruise lines people would be. They do have them, you know, like the margaritas and stuff. But I just want like a slushy. I want a slushy that's adult. I want it to be blue or green or something. You didn't have air as a kid in the 80s and 90s. I slept okay. It was different as a kid. Hot in the UK. That's crazy. Hi, Eric Mendoza. We bought this house without central air. It was our first home improvement. For real. That had to be expensive, wasn't it? Grandma Joanne says, I graduated high school in '54 and we never had AC at home growing up, only window fans, which really didn't do much but push really hot air around. Tell me about it. Well, you know, and houses were built differently. Can I control the temp of the AC? As only offices and stores here have AC, it's always freezing and can't be controlled. This one's a little unit, but yeah, I can set it. Blowing in, and one blowing to try and get the breeze. We were that poor. Oh my God. If that's not the truth, my mother would do this thing and it would make me insane. She would have a fan blowing in one window and then a fan blowing out. And she's like, that's going to suck the hot air out. And I refused to believe her because I was like, I am so hot and so sweaty. I need something blowing on me. And she would sit in front of the damn fan. So nobody else would get any air, okay? And I was just losing my mind because she would have the fan pointing out the window. In her head, it made sense. In my head, I was like, this brain is getting cooked. Isn't that instant? Proof's in the pudding. More human in the last 15 years, that's the difference. Well, you know, this was an interesting fact, too, that I found out. But currently, we're just going to say currently, 90% of households now have a form of air conditioning in their home. A form. It could be a window unit, it could be a floor unit, it could be some kind of unit, but they all, like 90%. That's amazing to me. But yeah, my mom did that, and that was our air conditioning because we were poor. Now, houses are built differently now. Dee says, I had central air all my life. Where I live, it's a must, but not all could afford it. I know how lucky we were. You were damn lucky. Dessert should be ice cream. I have ice cream, but I don't feel like eating it. I've had it. It's been in there for over a week. It hasn't been on my hit list. I'm trying to be better and everything. Because, you know, I got to be better. I got to be better. I don't need to be crazy. I just need to be better. But the way houses were built before, I think they were built more with like the space in between the walls and stuff so they could have airflow between them. But also, they were built like we pretty much could, like, people would say you could throw something through the front door and it would go directly out the back door so that you would get the breeze. So if you ever look at really old houses, they would have these windows, and those windows were mirrored on every single side of the building. Now, today, the way a lot of the houses are built, people have these big, huge, you know, 2-story, like salt box houses in these suburbs, and their windows, like you have a wall, and then you have a window that's like this big in it, and then everything else is a wall. I'm like, how the hell do you have airflow? Poor? They're poorly built. They don't have windows. They can't afford the glass, which is ridiculous to me because now it's cheap.
I watched a documentary where a man spent $100,000 on a glass.
That's insane.
Because it was like
Hi, Jolie.
25 feet long and it moved.
Too funny is my dad has a huge industrial fan on the kitchen table and would blow it outside. He also claimed it would suck the hot air. It was lies, Lady Wiser. It's going to suck the hot air out. You know, I don't believe you. Can we please turn it around so we can blow some air in this place? Open the window. The air will leave the other window. We don't need to help it push out. For real. I think Jolie says we had a 2-story brick house, closed downstairs windows, put fan in stairwell window, drew hot air out, cooler air in the upstairs. It was ridiculous, the stuff they would do. And they would tell you that it was this, this, and this. And I would be like, I can't help it. I am sweating like a pig. You know, it would be terrible. It was terrible for us. But yeah. So I don't know. But they built the houses differently. Today, they don't build the houses like that anymore. And the houses now are all like cubed up into weird little spaces because I want, like, let's think about this. And this is an example. Now, Joe's mom remarried after his dad passed away. And her new husband purchased this home. Now, the kids were all grown, moved, married, everything, okay? So there was nobody else living with them. But they purchased this big ass house, 2 stories, and like the living space went all the way up to the 2nd story. Now, if you think about this in the terms of heating and cooling, specifically cooling, that is the dumbest construction because it wasn't a brick home. It wasn't stone or anything like that. Yes, you can say cathedrals are cooler and stuff. Well, they are, but they're made out of stone. Okay? And, you know, it's not like it's wood with like paneling or whatever the hell it is, crap. It's just garbage now. So that place would heat up so much. They had central air because it was a brand new build. But if you went upstairs, it was so damn hot. Like, it could have easily been 90 degrees upstairs because all that heat just rose. Just rose. I was like, what the hell is the point? They had an air conditioner, but it wasn't big enough for that style house. They had them. They had ceiling fans. I was just like, you know, and this was the killer. So when Josh and I were there one time, it was in the middle of summer, and he was young. And I went to go, we were there for whatever reason. They should have had 2 units, but they didn't build it with 2 units because they weren't thinking they needed 2 units. They didn't want us to open the windows. So in the middle of the night, I had to open the window because we were so hot and uncomfortable. Their room was on the 1st floor. Ours was on the 2nd floor. So we were boiling. Yeah, if you had an attic, oh my God, remember if you ever went up into the attic during the summer, it would be like, that was a whole new level of hell. I remember the city trains and buses weren't air conditioned back. Yeah, I never took those. My dad had an attic fan put in to blow the heat out. My room was below it and it ran all night. Oh my God. You used to blow a fuse with the box fan. That's all I pray. We always make sure, we try to make sure we don't have anything on the same line that the air conditioner is on, out of that outlet. Like, we know what fuse it is. Nothing else is plugged in on that thing. Very rare. In fact, when Josh does his sewing, he runs the cord to the kitchen because we do not run anything else but that air conditioner on that outlet. Because I live in a building that is ancient. Like I said, it's over 100 years old. I don't know how old this wiring. I mean, wiring should be, it's been redone, but still, it's not like they're adding a ton of amps up here. They're just not. That's not how they're doing it. But anyway, so yeah, housing construction, totally different. They don't, because we were looking at this, we were. Oh, we were in Amish country. They had big windows, and you could tell that people had no electricity. Because you see all the houses that had lines going to them, and then you'd see this big, beautiful farmhouse, but they didn't have electrical lines going to it. But they had big, big windows, and they were on every single side of the home. It was crazy. Every single side of the home had a window. But anyway, that's what I thought. I was like, I don't know. It's so weird when you think about it, and you have to have a window unit or something here. We have window units all up and down buildings. It's crazy. Now, here's the other thing that we're going to talk about with air conditioning. because we hear this because we have family that lives in Europe. And the struggle is real. The Americans versus the Europeans. One, you can never get ice in Europe. They don't believe in ice in drinks. They don't believe in cold drinks like that. It's not that it's not that they're acclimated to it.
Upper crust European. You can't be like poor European.
Yeah, poor European. And here's the thing.
I mean,
It's a
German,
cultural thing.
German.
Joe had AC, but he had people with large leaf fans airing them off 24/7, probably. No, the subway platforms, the subway cars, Deborah, subway cars actually have air conditioning. The platforms do not. So when you go down, you want to make sure that that car is coming in very soon because you don't want to be down there waiting 10, 15 minutes on the platform. I live in Manhattan, so I'm a bit more luckier than people that live out, say, in Queens or Brooklyn. They wait. They wait. Yes, Jolie. People in Italy, France, Germany, for whatever reason, they feel like it's too cold. It's too cold. It's not right. It's going to make you sick. It's not going to make you sick. Okay? It's not going to make you sick. But it's a cultural thing. So their whole thing is that they don't really have air conditioners like we do. They're built differently. They're more of a dehumidifier, but not an air conditioner. And there's all these thoughts on why they do it a certain way. They try to make it sound like they're better than us, but I don't know. Theirs are more focused on energy, efficiency, and saving the environment because they feel like because air conditioners put out hot air into the world that it's going to heat up the entire city. Does it? Maybe. But I'm telling you, the little bitty percentage that it probably does is probably stopping for many of us from, dropping because of heat exhaustion and stuff. In the Netherlands, it's 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my God, I can't. Yeah, the subway stations are not air conditioned. The French aren't better than anybody. No, they're not. When booking a hotel in Atlantic City, make sure it says AC. My stepdaughter booked a hotel and did not check for it. It was August. She almost died. Get the hell out. That's insane. There's no way I'd book a hotel room that didn't have air conditioning. For real. Oh my God, Jolie, I just read about a swamp cooler. I'm not even sure what the hell that is. And that might be what they have. But I heard it just makes the air sticky. Okay, Hassan, you go do that.
What was that crazy air conditioner thing we saw? There's an advertisement on YouTube, and it's like a nuclear physicist and it blasts cold air at you.
I don't know.
We both saw it differently.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll find it.
We gotta find that. Blast me some cold air. Yeah.
Can blast cold air up to 100
I like to
feet.
sleep with covers.
100 feet.
Oh, in Europe. Okay. I'm gonna tell you. It was. Oh, that's so stupid. Anyway. But yeah, they focus on energy. They don't want to put the hot air outside because it heats up. But you also have to think about this too. A lot of the homes in Europe were built they're built before 1970. Okay? So they're not outfitted for air conditioning like central air. So for them to refit all of that, it would be very expensive. Also, this part I didn't know about. I read this one. Like in France, they actually levy a much more heavier tax on air conditioning units and installing air conditioning. Like it's 20 or 25% tax than they do on heating units. That's only like 5. So they actually, they villainize air conditioning. I don't understand that. We are going to Maui and booked an Airbnb without AC for one night only since we are doing Road to Hana. D, I'm going to tell you, you're probably going to survive. It's going to be warm, but in Maui, Hawaii, I've never been to Maui. I've been to Honolulu. I've been to Oahu. So they get island breezes, like trade winds, and those come in. I don't think I've ever been in Hawaii where it's not been breezy. You have to think about it, it's an island. Now, I guess as long as you're not in the center of the island, you're okay. You're probably going to be on the coast, I'm assuming. So you're probably going to be okay. It's going to be hot, it's going to be humid and stuff, but you should be okay at night because it cools down. Yeah, they tax the hell out of them, Jolie. I was shocked. I was like, are you joking? So they really do tax it. And then also you have to understand in Europe, during the height of summer, most of the people are on vacation. They do. They get like a month off. They get like a month off. I don't understand that. Like, I think it's during July. I'm pretty sure it's July. Nobody's working. Yo and Squid Games. Yo, that series is dark. I've already started the third season, which is pretty much the second half of the second season. I'm only 2 in, and I'm like, what? I was shocked. I was shocked, Robert K. You know, so they travel. They also have, you have to understand, in Europe, I know, give me a moment. That's what they do. They travel. Also, they have, unlike here in New York, we have it. In some big cities, they have it. Yeah, in Italy, lots of places are closed. We have they have a lot of third spaces. So a lot of people don't work from home, maybe more so now since Koko, but they have a lot of third spaces that they go, besides work and home. They have beer gardens, they have the parks, they have places that they hang out in the square, things like that, that they're outside, able to be places to enjoy like the cool off and just relax. Like there's a lot of space like that. Unlike in a lot of cities and towns in the US, you don't have that. There's not even a park bench in a lot of towns. There's like one. There's one park bench that's by some bus stop that doesn't come, but it's like once every, I don't know, day. That's it. Where in New York, we have it different. We do have a lot of benches and parks and green spaces, things like that, where we can enjoy. But I don't know how people like out in Flushing, I don't know how they do it like out in Queens. And so Brooklyn has a lot of spots, but Queens, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they do it anywhere else. And Germans just go to Germans go to the local park and they get nude. Exactly, where have the benches gone? I don't know. They never install them. I can never understand like why when I was in Minnesota, I would be in the park and there were like maybe 4 benches in that entire park, sporadically placed in very far locations. Like they never put stuff together for people to just sit and enjoy. You know, whereas we have parks, we have benches that will line an entire path. I mean, for real. Tell Joe I ended up taking the Long Island Railroad and auto train at JFK. It was great. Perfect. I'm so glad. Oh, look, there's another ad for me to look at. I heard about the heat wave in Europe. I just don't know how they're dealing with it. Let's see, what else did I miss? School holidays in the UK are from the end of July until the first week of September. So lots are on vacation. They travel. They'll rent their space out. They'll rent their place out. A person saw German persons on trains nude. What? I don't understand that. I also kind of vibe, specifically Germans. Not that there's anything wrong with this. They do spend a lot of time at beer gardens, drinking a lot of beer. I don't know how that cools you off. Maybe you are so full of beer, okay, a little tipsy, that you don't realize how warm it is. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is, because I can't do that. There's no way. It would heat me up. Also, the carb count would kill me. I got a note. Times Square street closure. My friend in Ireland thinks it's hot when it hits 70 degrees Fahrenheit. He never has ice. Oh my God. Right. UK is not like, UK is completely separate like the rest of Europe. When I'm speaking about Europe, I'm talking like France, Italy, Germany, those countries. The UK is much more like the US. We don't want to be hot because we look like a mess. San Francisco doesn't need AC, but when I moved here in Houston, I have no other choice. I fear my AC unit doesn't go out during the, I know. For real. Good morning, Kim. You love my channel. Thank you so much. You work from home now, does he? That's awesome. A lot of people are, so they're investing more in their home. You know. And a lot of people here in New York live in apartments like I do that are ancient, and you have no central air. So you have to either do a window unit or a standalone unit. You're welcome, Rhonda. You worked from home for 4 years. Yeah, well, it's been about Koko. Koko changed a lot for everybody and stuff. So I understand that. But, and part of the reason why I was wondering about this is I mentioned this yesterday because I was watching the Gilded Age. I don't know how those people walked around in full dresses with underclothes and underskirts and crinolines and long sleeves and a high neck and everything. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it in the summer. And the men were walking around in long pants and, you know, a shirt with an undershirt, with a waistcoat, with the vest, with a tie, everything up to here, and a coat, and a top hat. I don't know. Hi, Viking 180. How are you doing out there? It's hot here. Jeans in the summer. I know. I have jeans, but I actually fold the bottoms up so my ankles get a breeze, and for me, that's enough. But they have to be lightweight jeans. They can't be heavy jeans. You have like summer jeans, yeah, petticoats, etc. How do they do that? I don't know how. I know they got the vapors. They all said they all got the vapors. They needed their smelling salts because they were passing the hell out. Yeah, cowboys did that out west in Texas. They're all wearing jeans. They were wearing jeans back in the day. I don't know how they did it. Maybe they were horses were running fast. You're watching from Dallas, Texas. How hot is it there? It's cold and wet. Oh, God. God bless you, Viking. Send some of that cool weather here because we got a whole week of just hot, hot, hot. And I know it's July. It's going to be hot. But, you know, too much clothes back then. And corsets, no way. I know. Yeah, I was saying that, Jolie. Like, we can't even handle a bra, you know? And these people were wearing corsets? I don't know. I don't know how they did it. It's insane. Like, there's no way. There is no way. Like, you couldn't have opened anything. You're watching. Is Wimbledon going on? You got done making breakfast for your 6-year-old granddaughter and yourself. Ooh, what are you having there, Nancy? I'm just finishing up my lunch. That's what we're doing right now. I have a little tuna fish with pickles and cucumbers. Just a nice breezy little lunch. That's it. Nothing crazy. Heat was a joke yesterday in the UK, really. You know, my big thing right now, take the showers at night. So I go to bed, everything's clean, I feel cool. You know, it doesn't really get too warm in the apartment. The other room, since it doesn't have the air conditioner unit in it, it doesn't get too bad. It might hit like, I don't know, 78. That's about it, which isn't bad. I can't complain. Here in this room, it's nice and cool. And that's good because it keeps Josh's bedroom cool. So I'm glad with that and stuff. But yeah, I don't know how they did it back in the day. If you guys have any kind of suggestions on what you guys like, what do you cook during the summer to keep everything cool? Because I try not to use I don't even try to use the convection oven You know, I never hardly ever use the regular oven. In the summer, it's verboten. It's forbidden. We don't touch that. That stays off. I will cook eggs, things on the stove top. That's it. Um, we will use the convection oven a couple times, but not a lot because I don't want it to heat up and stuff. But tell me, like, what do you guys cook? Leave me a comment. What are some memories you guys used to have, you know, and how you guys would stay cool and stuff? Because I was reading things on Reddit and people were like, I remember my mom and dad had an air conditioning unit in their bedroom. And that was the only one. And I'm thinking to myself, how terrible is that? Like the parents had to make sure they could sleep, but then the kids were all like a sweaty mess. No, Joe does not have a YouTube channel. He is on here with me on my channel. He is at work. It's either air fryer, grill, or I do a lot of salads. You're used to the heat in the kitchen. Yeah, you're one of those chefs that Viking. You're a rare breed. How about that, Viking? You are rare. I'm seriously thinking about moving back to Providence, Rhode Island at the end of this year. Texas is really not for me. You know, Nancy, my sister said the same thing, and she lives in North Dakota. She spent 2 years in Texas just recently and just moved back to North Dakota. Texas was not for her. It's for a lot of people. But I think people from the north, like if you're from Rhode Island, it's going to be much more difficult because it's a whole different lifestyle. I don't think I would fit in Texas. I know I didn't fit in Indiana. I lived throughout the Midwest. Like I said, we grew up in Michigan, lived in Ohio, Indiana, Minnesota, and now we're here. You still cook and bake in the kitchen during the summer? I bet I blast the AC. You're my kind of person, Haas. I love it here. Been here for 3 years in August. Well, that's good, Javon. I don't know. I've been to Texas, but I'm blown away at how far everything is away. Like everything is very, very far. Like it's far. It's not like close at all. Like people have to go far. We were out there and we had to stay in, was it Oklahoma? But we flew into Texas, drove to Oklahoma because there's not a lot of places to fly into Oklahoma where we needed to be. And it was for Joe's work. And all I kept thinking is, how do they get pizza delivery? Because there was nothing out there. I'm like, where is the shopping area? Do they get pizza? Can they order Chinese? That's all I kept thinking. How do they get Chinese food? Does anybody deliver, like all of that out the window? Like, poof, you can't get it. Like, some of these people live really, really far. I can't even imagine the charge, Yes, everything is definitely far. They say a short trip in Houston is 30. Yeah, it's like a 35-minute drive to the next place. I remember driving, and I'm like, we were driving for a while. I'm like, okay, I'm just passing fields and roads and cattle and 5 houses. And then you turn left, and then it was fields and roads and cattle, and then 5 houses. And I'm like, where's the store? I was dying. I thought it was kind of funny. You've been living in Texas since 2022. I'm glad. You know what? Everybody has their space. I have no problems with anybody living where they want. I just know I think I would have a problem. I would my videos would be a rant, a constant rant. Oh, Haas. I know I'm totally spoiled. I said New York ruined you for anywhere else just about. Because the convenience of what we have, yeah. When we go someplace else, it blows our mind. We're like, why is everything closed at 6? What's going on? I don't understand. I can't get it all done before 6. Anyway, guys, leave me a comment and stuff. Enjoy your lunch. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. I'm drinking some more water. Love you all. Thank you for the super chats and everything. Rabbit, it is the 1st of the month, the 1st of July. 20 days before I get on a cruise ship with my sister. I gotta go buy some doll clothes. We gotta get Gertrude and Esther up and running. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you next.